Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Oh, you're my thing, you know. 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 Yeah. So, oh, yeah. Oh, you're my thing, you know. Oh, you're my thing, you know. Yeah. Oh, you're my thing, you know. Oh, you're my thing, you know. Say, I call you Jireh, say. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are my everything. Yeah. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen. Okay. Gabusia, and another Saturday, the very first one in the month of November 2022. How do I celebrate the end of the year? I'm going to start now preparing to do that because November is preparation for Christmas and I know you're going to love it. Now, Mekai will say every Saturday afternoon I'll be coming your way with this very special program called The Community and the Law. If I'm doing this courtesy BWF Solicitors live on BWTV, live on BW Radio, live on BWF Solicitors Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and all the social media platforms and handles. And then we coming your way with a very interesting and important question. Now, you know, honam kala no se si ete ana se bibinti adwuma mu na obi epese otu nani edisu so na ye chunsin chain and all things are going against you. We're talking about discrimination here. And how do I successfully prove that I'm being discriminated against at work? A very important question. Our lawyer Charles Asma, a resource person and a brother from BWF Solicitors is going to help us answer. Plus all the other questions are I'm welcoming you live to BW Radio, BW TV, and the program is The Community and the Law. Hello once again. Yeti Community and Law Ebro is the very first Saturday of the month of November 2022. How are you doing? I know it's pretty going well with you. Very wet Saturday afternoon here in London, and we're coming your way by courtesy of BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, no so, Seven Sisters, North London. Oyejuma Monday to Friday, free. Anopa 9:30, Kopimenyumere 6 o'clock. They are our trusted partners when it comes to the law. They've served the community for over 30 years, and this year we're celebrating them and we're saying thank you to God on their behalf. BWF Solicitors is bringing us this program, and we're going to spend the next 2 hours trying to, one, answer questions concerning immigration and the law. We are going to answer questions on anything that is eating up your mind when it comes to the law. Then again, we're also going to learn certain things that will help us to successfully understand what the law is here in the UK, especially when it comes to immigration matters. Your friend will reku usu frimpon and we live on BW Radio, BW TV, BWF Solicitors on their Facebook page and on their YouTube page as well. And our face also on LinkedIn and our face social media platforms. So when you come on, just like the page, share it, click the notification button, a sweet, sweet little button. Click it, and when it is that we put anything out, you'll be notified and you'll not lose out on it. And we see BWF Solicitors, Kwenya say Yemfa Emrewe, ma Minko Nkotu, and when we come back, we will be looking at what we have for today.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
The Ghana Society UK, in partnership with the National Commission on Culture Ghana, African Knowledge Origins Ghana, Location Accra, and Kente Nkoswahima, Her Royal Highness Nana Bena Santua I, supported by the Ghana Union, Association of Installed and Enscaped Traditional Rulers in the UK, Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Ghana, Ghana Tourism Authority, and the Ghana High Commission UK present the prestigious annual Kente Festival, Kente Fest 2022. Spanning from Thursday, 20th October to Saturday, 26th November 2022. Activities will include African History Exhibition, cultural workshops, Ghana exhibitors exhibiting Ghanaian products from the 12th to the 26th of November 2022 in the Mall Shopping Centre, Luton, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, and culminating in the Grand Royal Kente Gala on Saturday, 26th of November 2022 from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. will be happening live at the plush venue 360, 20 Gibson Lane, Luton, LU1 3JH. Exit Junction 10 on the M1 motorway. Highlights of the night will include a Akaba reception and networking, the Kente Heritage Award, the launch of the Batakari, Damshika, and Fugu Festival 2023, honoring the best dressed Kente person, and live performances with the popular Davison Band. Tickets are available at Eventbrite, or there will be limited ones at the door. £30 standard and £50 VIP. Dress to impress in your rich kente or traditional smart evening wear. You don't want to miss this super cultural event. Kente Fest 2022. Sponsors: Kabaka Foundation, Kabaka Construction and Investment Limited, Databa Group, and Tap Tap Sen. Media partners: BWTV, BW Radio, Tropical FM and TV, and Kantanka Television.
Ye fema ye wo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebre. Ne ya redare ewo mranse mu. Eye legal services, be to say family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWF die, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na ye bo nso nya den kra. Yen partner penin pa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura wo ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi te se child care, eya abofrahwe mu, awaregya ye ho twema mentwe. Ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma nso. Yen child care any family team no nim nia wo famu ewe ne ya wo brei mu. Enu nti ne yetu ye mbo ase ma wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu na osanso ye member na kyerɛ sɛ ɛba no sɛ yɛgyina wachi etwitwaje wo family any matrimonial cases ho a wonni haw kra. Wope advice immigration sensem ho. Wo BWF Solicitors deɛ ye immigration team no abredare general immigration ho nsɛmsɛm kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho totoye, any entry clearance visas, family visas, ni appeals. Yen senior partner member na wasan gyina tum Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Inti se ye taiwachi a wonni haw kra. Ye bie an office free dwada ekosi fiada anopa nonkron pe mu ekosi enumre nonsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm. Ena memene danso appointment nko free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm. Yewo 4th floor Ewo Anna House, 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sawun 93 Seven Sisters Underground on Swa, Eye Quantia B. Yen senior partner Bernardo Wusu, san ye barrister ya Jina Tumu, na oye Ghana Bar Association member, and the was Saint Jina Sembranim for Ewo court cases here, a Ghana law. We're advising local authorities, official solicitors office, ni solicitors be bree efa Ghanaian law hu yi na osan yo bia otai kasa ewo radio any TV so fa Ghanaian law.
Okay, abusia me da say what me ama makaba na fe me de enkomo no ebrewo. We're live on BWTV, we're live on BW Radio, and well, a host of other people have joined us. Rebecca Mwaku, good afternoon, dear brother and lawyer. How are you doing? Becky, we're doing so very well. Sanso ena yewo odesheba nana kweku meye dede ejewa nana jumai. Thank you for joining us. Oba na washe page no ade amaya na obia ade ensa akebi. And well, we start off. We're looking at the things that BWF Solicitors Wadarama Oboying Emma Yade Ebrewa. Now we're going to our nuggets straight away. Now I know if I say well, today we're going to talk about employment, basically things we do whilst we've been employed, things we do when we're employed, and things we do when it is that would have to stop being employed. Now, one of them is redundancy. And what is that? We'll be going to the definitional issues and the rest of it, but what does the law say? The Employment Rights of Employment Rights Act of 1996 has this to say. Now, we're talking about redundancy, yeah? Redundancy is usually a type of dismissal when a role is no longer needed. The employer should only consider making redundancies if part or all of the organization is one, closing or has already closed, two, changing the types or number of roles needed to do certain types of work, and also changing location. So, lawyer will explain, so I'll continue with the reading. The employer may look at alternatives to redundancy. However, before an employer selects anyone for redundancy by law, they must follow a consultation and selection process. You will normally be entitled to statutory redundancy pay if you have worked for your employer for 2 years or more. And she said, Banner say, you say, Juano in young beauty idea. You say, oh, yeah, I'm redundant. Does it mean you have been sacked? Does it mean that you've been given the kick out of the office or the organization? What does it mean? What is the difference between dismissal and redundancy? I think it's pretty important to say you be the difference. And as I said, and then we deal with a lot of employment issues, even though your immigration stuff and the rest will come in. Let me go in and first of all welcome my brother, my friend, and my senior, lawyer Charles Asma. I'm just good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brapuku.
Napo, what to say?
I try, I'm Adam. I won't swear.
Yeah, anything. I want to say about it. What do you whole we've dealt with it a year in and out, definitely. But you know, well, and then so Yabe na I think for me kind of say lawyer Charles Asma is a resource person from BWF Solicitors. Tilly, I'm saying good afternoon to you. I've seen you join us. Thank you for sharing. Now, BB also our joining. You haven't missed a lot. We just about going to it. We have just actually read our nugget, and I'm going to ask a lawyer to help us with the explanation. Say your case redundancy. Is it the same as we find in our English dictionary? And I say a whole answer no to say. Into lawyer, my young Koswe. NK, thank you for coming on board. Your case redundancy. What are we talking about?
Yo, that's a bit brave. Because this is the nugget session, we'll go straight later. We'll say hello to a TF1 Ashafo. And Tina, woman say, I can say redundancy, and that's a redundant, English word. My issue one, you say, if I saw in this biome, second, redundant. I just say, what the bam remu near Jumamua. So I can say, Nipana all year Jumano. And I say a jumano aya redundant, position aya redundant, and I can say position in who here a beam. Into what was our position muno as our position aya redundant, no natural say you will have fallen into redundancy situation. In this ana quite the nature say jumana wo ye no, and fasuo, and I say and who here a jumano a beam. Yes, I won ya na who here, no a jumana wo ya wo hono. And I who ain't here a beam. Say, who here bet me about say a jumano egu.
Okay.
Actual closure.
Okay.
And I say a begu contemplated closure.
Okay.
You say baby go and you be no back say near woya no mfasuo embaso a beam. And now so say bia in sesanya akoba ewo role na wo play no emu.
Okay.
Bia kanin no ya wo grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. If I say senior, super senior, and most senior roles for the same job. Now, I come say bibinti yemeji ebi. Na yi first and second in few one year no one pay.
Okay.
In the say supervisor. Instead say befa supervisor 1, supervisor 2, supervisor 3. No, we only need one supervisor. Now just say supervisor 1 and 2 no. Omo die no akobe say nia na omo ye no mfaso emmaso ebiem. Sa na akobe na just omo position no abeye redundant.
Okay.
Sa na etie die na wo hwemu a employer no ekwan eda ho say common sense ebema wo ne employee na acha ase say adwuma we no se mfa so oni hu so say ye be ye dia ene ehia so say obekọ so ekipu obi.
So in this case your kase or you're redundant, does it mean that you're UAD? Or it doesn't necessarily mean that you're UAD?
Okay, so
fired the
okay, all right. So the first part you say adwuma no mfa so adwuma no ye hia biem because say yabobo nyoma yabobo so no economic reasons, technical reasons, organizational reasons. For these reasons na adwuma no ehia biem. Sa na etie de a emra no say ese wo no a ye employee until we call section 230 of the Employment Rights Act 1996 no or chirem who employee is. We call baby so or chirem who a worker is. We qualify ho no na we call other aspect of the law no 108 so be catch say wa ho no che say mrododo ben na wa ho a we betumi e claim say we qualify say employer no oni ubedi ni yie. You should have worked with the employer for at least 2 years. When we are qualifying period, no way be so say, near employer no person or a fair and into we call section 98 now, and the general fairness grounds now one of them a redundancy. This employer now, why I will say, we prove say a human first so any should be because of the yabo boss soon dia and the acquired that was say. Obey UAD. Or UAD, not unfairly, but fairly. Okay. Because one of the fair reasons for dismissal is redundancy under Section 98 of the Employment Rights Act. So
to part companies with your organization or your employer, no, redundancy doesn't mean you've done something wrong.
No. Redundancy simply means that a human wo ye no, a human wo ye no, a organization no, a and they say a company nangasa egu to be a coffee and that's a begu into a says ya hona den ya coffee and that's a jumano reshuffle name your man be a ya take cost any other things a jumano crano because of technology ye here say nimpa ebe ye biem because of all these changes in inti ebe here say in society ebeba edwumani mu say society be there by all means obi ebe coffee sa ifie na wo kwa na say redundancy a fair reason to be made to be dismissed, but that's a fair dismissal. Now, you call the employer no to make it a fair dismissal. Instead, when we say redundancy imminent, woman in Panoya aware because the law say as a say woman employee no notice say na AC.
Did notice how long should it be?
So normally with redundancy, it has to go through more than just notice. Because under normal circumstances, we can have gross dismissal where you don't have to be served any notice. And we have the standard termination where you have to be notified by law or by contract. Okay. By law, no, can be 1 month. By contract, can be 3 months. Depending on the nature of work you do. And the reason for the notice is to give the employer time to prepare to replace you. And also the employee time to prepare to fend for themselves outside. Okay. So it's a fair way. Now, we put the person on notice, Mrane says a redundancy there, it's not just about telling them, say, you have to check, said there are no alternative jobs.
Alternative jobs within
the organization.
Okay. For
them, within the group, because the organization may have other, may have wider operation. So had the na it's just the same company, but we bet alcohol. So you give the person alternative options. So we engage my being, but we were so power. Then, as part of the process, into when you know a process you go to what we call consultation. You consult the employee, you consult the trade union, the employees union group, because it's a labor issue. When we are then as then you have to pay the person off. What so we call redundancy package.
Paying off the person, the person must have, as we find on the screen, you will normally be entitled to statutory redundancy pay if you have worked for your employer for more, for 2 years or more. Does the length of period that 1 year count when you are being paid any amount for redundancy?
Yes. Now, the law is clear on Ocean Nugget now, or making reference to statutory redundancy pay.
Okay.
And the statutory is basic. So if you want to play it safe, you go the statutory way, because statutory Sikano is so small. I will not be able to quote a figure, but what I'm saying is that the money for statutory redundancy is very minimal. And because of that, some of the employers need be redundancy payout policy, which is a fair way for the employee to fend whilst they are out there. In terms of mood, saying statutory,
Okay.
Enti ena nso ye hwe emredodo a wodi aye den aye ejuma ewo ho. The minimum na ye boss no 2 years. Obi ma waye ejuma 10 years. Obi ma waye ejuma 5 years. Obi ma waye ejuma what have you. Enti na say obi umso omu a ebi kra onya bi kra because of emredodo a odi aye den aye ejuma no. Enti how long you have spent with the employer count when it comes to redundancy calculation and pay.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing Afi and joining you're live on BWTV, live on BW Radio. Now, today we're looking at, well, various things, employment, but immigration questions, any issues, when we activate the lines, you can call us on 07399208468. And I say, over send the text, WhatsApp, and I say audio note, at the Abraying Airway, text number, no so 07950. 422780 07950 422780. Mikai will say the media will come in your way courtesy BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, no 7 Sisters, North London. BWF Solicitors Juma Monday to Friday. If free and upon 9:30 Ekopim and Yumre 6 o'clock. You know on AD and Koma. One telephone number is 0208 493 7340 0208 493-7340 and our emergency number 077-127-61884. If you may count for a day amount, say only one everything come on a weekend na I will say book appointment na only one na Saturdays what you mean about and what about the come on. And then you were in your lawyer Charles Asma ha or no and a resource person. Intimate dane amana na fee. Then she has any tradition at the watch now pay me the question at the upper on what promoting a year no at the mind. And then what we're doing is asking the question, say, how do I successfully prove that I am being discriminated against at work? When we say we're talking a lot employment here. Now Subai and the certain treatments that are being meted out to you, and you think that somebody mentioned some time ago this very interesting term, discrimination by association. How do you prove all these things? How do you successfully get people to appreciate, to say something is being done against you and you think you are being discriminated against? Lawyer will tell us. Lawyer Asman, Akwaba Bio.
Yeah, near.
Okay. And to say, senior, we know our tradition, but whatever, when you take for evidence, now fee, you answer your question.
Yo, a tier 4 ne, Asha 4, and there, maybe that area so ya bar when chain, so we jumam wo fear, or maybe I will be ano, a bareful, if you didn't eat to me a share, yama good afternoon. And then so ye be seen a dear, a fight near cost in Jumamu, through. On the point of discrimination, and Judy said, and then so you just we be now when you're back home you be efim. But I now be brain no black work say, hey, now what day I am more there, and so yeah, Ghana for no dear, I am would train you good, would discriminate, and Santi, I dream why I say, yeah, it's a fair comment and a fair point.
That's right.
So we have to reach to the wider community. Into black and it just some woman say, "Enche bring your busumi ya dizeme." Your besha say will reach out to the wider community. Now, yet the bro for so aye juma. Then you know inquire local language na bebre. Obi friend me some time ago, and I say I got your video, but I cannot understand the language. But the topic is good for me. And I said, where do you get it from? The person says, oh, YouTube. I'm saying, oh, don't worry. I wish I can interpret it for you, but what is it? Then I just took the information, listened to the person, advice on near openo. Sani pa we say brofwa enka ono so a benefit. Nti ye kɔ yenim no, will be reaching out to ya the brofwa no so ebeye ejuma na afoforo no a sebio want local language, with me ati and so ase. So that is a bit of information for listeners. I'm sure people are saying, hooray.
Hooray. Well, that's what it is that you get from BWF Solicitors. We patiently and efficiently serve the community. And the TBR, you get your share. Even when we're doing the mainstream one and you find it difficult following, we try to mix it up, the language, both English and our local language, the Tree language, and you will benefit from it. But if you have any question, just text it, 07950-422-780. You can do a voice note and send it over to us. We'll put it on the program and get the lawyers to address that for you. When the lines are activated, you can call us on 07399208468. 07399208468. You can find that at the bottom of your screen. Lawyer, discrimination. It's one big word that people tend to grapple with. Say, cassette discrimination. Does it have a different meaning from what the dictionary says? And when it comes to the law, and especially with employment, does it also have a different meaning?
Well, there isn't much difference, excuse me, between the statutory definition and the standard English definition. And simply that you are not getting what you ought to get for some reasons. And the reason could be because of some protected characteristic. And I say, near wako akoye and I say wako kan inti. So the fact that the treatment or the thing, what is how you are treated at work compared to the rest is different, is the fact that you are not getting what everybody else should be getting. And we're keeping it that simple because it's a technical term. So if everybody is getting A and you are getting B, or if everybody is being made to go this way and you are not having the same opportunity to go that way, then we can conclude that you are not getting what you should have also gotten.
In a positive sense, say yen fana se bia me wo difficulty bia menante ana se bia me dyslexic me ntimi read papa enunti me hia moa IT wise enunti na bia maka kire me boss ana se me supervisor or my manager say me hia some moa we enu betimi amama ye adwuma na ya mame professional treatment bia me screen me de be hwe my computer so ye kakra kasin will be ade makunya ye more comfortable than others near there and no say you treat me differently from the others until you know a bit me discrimination but in the positive sense
there is justification for that. Well, we are not saying that so you are the minority under this circumstance. Majority no error. Unless the majority are all saying, say, why are you treating the minority differently from us? But the majority are not complaining that they also want this. It's usually the case a minority will be complaining that they are not getting what the majority are getting. And that's where discrimination comes in. So from major to minor, instead of minor to major.
Now, so complaints in the favor.
Yeah, but it's not a complaint per se. So for the example now, we'll give you, we call it reasonable adjustment. Within the framework of the Equality Act 2010, you have to make reasonable adjustment for somebody under the circumstances untumi ye ade SSA in kawaida oye no a obi abetumi aye ne normal. So you have to find a way to normalize it for certain panel.
Okay.
So normalization and I'm running friend reasonable adjustment. Because when we kiss a reasonable adjustment, I'm a signing panel, then the signing panel will rather say you are discriminating against me because everybody can do it naturally. But I cannot do it naturally, but you are forcing me to do it naturally, as if I can. I can't, for good reason. And those are the things we are coming to, we are getting to. It could be a protected characteristic, or it could be something that has come up. And therefore, you have to consider that and make an adjustment so that the person will also get to the level of the majority.
Okay.
If the person is not able to get to the level of the majority, then the person will say that it appears that my situation is undermined or I am being discriminated in somehow.
It is circumstance being ubi betimi ejina so aka, not proving it, but sebia on the surface, no. Oh, you hear me say, and until we Emma me feeling say I'm being discriminated against. And then in circumstance they betimi amobi akasa.
The word discrimination is broad. Now I'm breaking it down into 4.
Okay.
Your direct discrimination. And hinges on the 10 protected characteristics. It used to be 9. It's on 10. We're going to go through those characteristics. So the first one is the direct discrimination. And it's so obvious. It's obvious. So we call it overt because it's open.
Okay.
And there was indirect discrimination. And policy no na
Okay.
So discrimination within the framework of the policies and procedures in place.
Okay.
And indirect discrimination. It is covert because one shall who say koso. And there was victimization discrimination or victimization. So wako can be or make you some disclosure within the organization, what we call whistleblowing, for example. Now, based on that, near SSN ka winyano farmer will be because you are being undermined because of bibia wokwaye and as a wokwakaye. That is victimization. That also falls under discrimination. And there was harassment. And we bet me say assault in a way. Say be a ye do any ye tentian ye feel even happy and comfortable. And no will fall under discrimination framework. Into your direct, indirect victimization and harassment.
Okay.
Now, under the Equality Act 2010, and one the Employment Rights Act 1998, actually in some new being at the aboa protecting employees and workers, because the Employment Rights Act, a right of the employee and the worker. Of course, the employer also has rights, but mostly we are looking at the employees and the workers. Equality Act, is broad and encompasses everybody and everything. Inti nyoma ben na ya twea be mu a say siwage wo ho as an employee na employer no anhwe ne yie na wa odi ho agro a obetumi agina so aka say or discriminate you directly. Edi kan no, we are talking about age. Okay. We are talking about age. Inti age is very crucial. So we are penny, so we are abofra. Age is age. 18 years, you are considered adult, so to speak. So what age is relevant depends on what is happening within the job description as a job setting. But Nyamrani can say you cannot discriminate against people on the basis of their age. Okay. So you can say because of wage unity, you can say the position in my but age unity into me farmer. And why you obvious say me age unity. One can say mean to me here. But me agency. Does it mean that we call retirement and also can one now? Of course, that's a statutory ceiling. We call retirement, yeah, we call retirement. And see, that's the first point. And here, what disability?
Okay.
The disability no obi Becker say I need a reasonable adjustment. So if you don't make such reasonable adjustment, now say me yeah no sir like everybody else there, then the person can complain that you are not being fair to me.
Okay.
So that's under disability. We also have gender reassignment. We need to say these days, because of let me call it individualism and freedom and liberty. Obia betumi aye ne opese oye titru UK memu emra no ede emakwan to bi uma ya wo no bema no sisi a menyini mehu se nka sese ye wo me oba nti mi ama wo me hu oba
change my identity, change my sex.
nti or reassign ne ho na ne gender no ayeden asesa na kire se menye oba biem meye den bema wo sa nimpa we say na waka kire so ye bema will you let the person do adwuma na nanka emma eye anase mema eye wa ma ya we anase be say wo so wakose sande a ende kofie that will be unfair to the person because waka kire o na wugina so eden ede ye ne a wo pese wo ye no na wo marriage and civil partnership. Marriage ni the standard one a yenim no oba ne bema. Civil partnership ni oba ne oba, bema ne bema. Imagine say we adwuma no wa put advert na nkrofo abasa o mo ba apply oba wie no a we interview no na hu say anasa wo tie say impo wa fa na adwuma wie na wo tie say anasa wo hu say on ne kunu ne ono ankasa nyina wo mo ye mema anasa wo mie no nyina ye mba civil partnership ubaka say me dey me ye Kristo ni nti ye nji sa nyama no ntutum nti misrawo we've made a mistake and employed you nti ye ji adwuma na wa kofie person will say well you are not being fair just because you got to know say exactly because you know that because of my the fact say I'm into civil partnership instead of marriage. Okay. People to go into civil partnership. It becomes this has become a protected characteristic. So you can say protected characteristic. You may be a one emrano a protected. Okay. I didn't because emrano who say we are vulnerable. So what's that dear noir? So emrano a protected from vulnerability, age, disability, marriage, civil partnership, gender reassignment. These days, we are even talking about political belief. That is also incorporated. That's why I said it used to be 9, now it's 10. Because almost political belief.
Say, when you in Ghana, see we NDC.
Very good. That would be discriminatory. Okay. Because when to me, say because of my political belief and ideology, you don't want me to do that which you know I can do. Okay. Then that becomes, so that is also a protected characteristic. And sexual orientation.
Is it the same
civil partnership?
Gender.
Okay, so gender reassignment, what's we oba, sexual orientation, under normal circumstances, a member and a ma neda ma any mema neda but so obi o mo see ne preference ayeden asesa nti oni oba nso tumi ni oba ayeden eda oya bema otumi di ni bema nso ayeden eda ene ye ka say instead say obekọ straight no wo de wokọ baby a nti ekoba sa wasesa wo orientation. I call it taste because that's orientation. Inti the first say orientation as a an interest say edwuma no eni say we okay. Edwuma bi na me wom about 8-10 years ago college bi and now almost send the email round. Now almost send the email no na as so be declare over fill forms we feel we are now for the HR. You have to declare your sexual orientation. Nimpa way no or declare no there no or say or your bar or so to mean mem a bar eda into your sexual orientation no and na or send the coins na nkrofo no reply no or more reply no more reply to all the workers almost send email globally into more mutumi hu ne ntam no omu say oh yenua we say not here. It's an infringement on the part of HR. That's data breach. But that's a different conversation. But the woman says, "Sasani we imagine say be a manager be." Eko say, "Hey, it's not here." And yet, ejuma no crown we say we show me here. Then because of in a way be, naturally said the person has become what? Vulnerable.
Okay.
Nti saa enyoma no nyinaa no pregnancy enso eka ho bi, race eka ho bi, religious belief eka ho bi. Saa enyoma no nyinaa no yekaka bomu a yesi they are protected characteristics. And the question is, which of the characteristics do you have in the workplace?
Okay.
It's like me African a me fi ebibiri mu. Maka say me race ninti omumba ya kame boa. So me ko interview because I'm black. And I pay the people succeed in that provided say you can say because of sa ade ninti and omoye sa ade na ide etiawo. Now we know all the characteristics.
Okay.
Nti say employer no ye bribi etiawo because of one of these characteristics there, then that becomes direct discrimination.
But then lawyer, I mean, it makes us say, if I'm going into any employment, now may what any of these characteristics are you protected now? Do I necessarily have to declare it so that my employer who say me what sa feature into I was say or protecting me, I won't treat me differently, am I disadvantaged?
So there is what we call equality monitoring scheme or program. Buying introduce to our employers as a some way they follow. Until we recruitment and selection processes no we go through one of the forms no a application form. Then you go to the selection, then you be succeed, you become application form no share a no form bi wo ho obi say race, obi say this, obi say nyoma bebre sexual orientation. Ebi mo will say I prefer not to say it. But he can also choose to declare. And he would declare, so I would say as part of the monitoring program, no, the employers monitor to know how many of the people within these characteristics are being given opportunity. I have found equal opportunities. First, Nanka is mainly for race. Background to this, na ye race. Crawford say me ye tuntumi ye koko intimi ejuma no. Na ye race. Any gender. Say oba ne mema, say mema nya more opportunity compared to emma ewe ejuma. Inti quality monitoring program no ba no is to let employers declare as part of their profile how many of their staff are from ethnic minority and the mainstream, how many are women, how many are men, the age range, and so on and so forth. So there is equal opportunity across board.
Okay.
So the employers are asked to declare, to depending on the regulatory agent body noir or money dealing.
Okay. Well, Sir Afi and joining, we're looking at this very interesting discussion where we would want to prove at the workplace that we are being discriminated against. Now, we started the discussion, what are the forms of discrimination? And then, and a bit to me, why you're discriminated against. Now, Laura has started with the things that overtly you bit to me a day so things we can point to say that these are things that may make me be discriminated against. Now, what my protected characteristics are also there are 10 of them. Sexual orientation, your gender, ability or disability. Now I'm going to ask Laura to take us into the realm of the things that are not clearly visible. The covert ones are, and no bit me am I discriminated against. Then we'll move into the situation where, especially with the covert ones, Sebeya you bit me. I say, Sadi we any pay ye inti me ye me or are me treated differently to my disadvantage, and that's what the focus is. Let's come back to Sa issue. Not say, are there some of the characteristics that are hidden?
So the indirect discrimination or the covert aspect, usually, senior your boss, I just always shared how things are being done at the workplace, and the way I manage workplace, is informed by the policies and procedures.
Okay.
And to be a policy, no back say, your fact and crofwa edi maximum of 30 years.
Okay.
So which aspect of the characteristics ni abo so yi? Ye penkrofo mo edi up to 30.
There's an age discrimination.
Age na aba no. Nti wabro 30 a wono ye mfa wo ejuma. Na omo aye no bold within their selection and recruitment policy. Then in a way no, even though omo anka say we agency, but omo setting out say when you are wunya. Obi baka say what the employer is justifiable because be ejuma no mo pemogya mo no. Because when you say na bia yentumi den enya ho mfaso. But the question is, Emrano say you cannot do bibia ebema nipa no onya sa opportunity na afufro eden ebenya no. Afufro ne sa nkrofo na young people no up to 30 no. Or more over 30 no, more or less they are not going to get that opportunity or they will be treated differently. And within the policy no, we can pick something up. Recruitment and selection policy no, we can pick something up. Let's say training. I can say, okay, we offer training. By training, we offer in-house training and external training, or even foreign training. Now, there's more you don't want to call abroad to train. You be or more a certain role, and that's a certain age, and that's a certain ability. Like I said, what they win do while they be internal training, and that's a home base. And to be more abroad for training, what they because the policy is couched in a way in favor. Some people to me out and say, hang on, what's going on here? Is it because of this, and that? That's why you have targeted says some crowdfunding or training there should always be locally based.
But if it is set out before you are employed, then obviously you don't have a case.
Right. Now, you are saying, your culture will say, this is what it is. But again, the law is clear. Say, you are intending to. And because of that, more or less, one person will be okay. Because it's likely, say, I will not have opportunity. So in this case, the BWF because okay, won't pay, but we are while we are tasked because I hang on, you stretching the kakran and just say a family jumenya, sa efidie no ebe yimi ana. And no mum person efidie no be yimi no amekwa akofa ehwo no nti. Me dey won akofa ehwo no nti. Omo mama ya aware so that they don't even select me. Okay. And this also includes pre-selection, selection, and post-selection processes. And even within your advertisement, in terms of selection process, no, what advertise, no certain language, no cry here. We going to pick you up. Say even your marketing approach, your advertisement, the vacancy publication, so is obvious.
You have established an institutional form of discrimination.
Exactly, so to speak. And so then it becomes idea employers are aware and they have to operate within the confines of the law. So that is why some of these things now echo out on behalf of employers. You know, they are very, very particular because the wording alone can trigger aspect of discrimination. Okay. Now, Ibia pay. Okay, say we used to have Equal Pay Act. And also I share Equality Act because Equality Act 2010 is an amalgamation of different laws. Okay. And we better say, okay, you are doing the same job, but somebody is getting more than the others. Somebody can pick that up. Say, hang on, what's going on here? Unless the policy is quite clear in terms of the quantum of work that goes into it.
That brings to mind. Let's say, sir, we are a relatively new employee. Na grader, ya fa woman, obi at grade so several years, and oba and one and strategy the same pay. Can the person say, nipa so mesi oba unya that experience as much as I have? Until so I'm the same pay until I feel that I'm being discriminated against. Would that person be right?
Now, unless nipa no can say your grade, you know, your 1, 2, 3
within the band.
Within sa band, you know. A do say you be shoot na 2 and 3 because of number of years away age man. One or da or more ma be nyina no abeka no ho number 1. Then the person will have a point. Why you not pushing me up? Is it because of any of the characteristics? But say grade no 1 set out. It's just like in the Bible. When the people say, why is it that those who were here in the morning, those who came in the afternoon, those who came in the evening were all getting the same wage? And the owner says, you are getting what I told you I will give you. You have no reason to complain. It's mine to give to the others. So what it is that all those people know, as long as they are performing the same job, as long as they have the same set of skills required for the job, as long as they are performing the role, then they have to be given the same wage. Equal pay.
Equal pay.
So, untumi nka say, oh, I'm being discriminated against. Because it's simple. Unless the policy is structured said that we have different levels within the same band, you know. Now when you shoot two up there, then it becomes an issue.
Okay. Yenyaba could be the question be Abba, and we have it on the screen. The British Army have age limit for their recruits. Does it amount to age discrimination?
So here, the British Army, somebody can pick, but there will be justification for it.
Okay.
Because it's also a case of protection of health and safety. Who call army where the 60? Then I will call here.
Officer.
Yeah. And then you can come. So what just here? And sa age, you know, will be justifiable because of the specific nature of the job. It's not just about brain. It requires physical activity, strenuous work. And see, jagum so biya mremu biya, and you are not being fair to more, you know.
Okay.
Why are you putting all of us into the same basket? Meneme and what is different? Even though experience is different, you know. Where you are holding.
So it comes to maybe an aspect of positive discrimination. It demands certain qualities, certain characteristics, even though it may be protected in other spheres. In certain areas, quote unquote protected there, and you without that you can't perform that job. And no be an army for you.
And no be an army for no you.
Okay.
Also we call city firms say or more far professionals are more young people, so that they can stay for a long time to benefit the organization. Right. Imagine if I went away the 60, or pension, few years. If I saw Ben, I would back. And to what you can say, for good reasons, certain things are allowed, but it has to be clearer and justifiable, so that the employer can be excused from discrimination.
Okay. Now we're coming to the point of my question. How do I successfully prove, say, I'm being discriminated against? How do I do that at work? That's the main crux of my program this afternoon. Say who said discrimination? Some are very open and overt, some are covert. Some because of the nature of the job, and you can say we need our qualification, we need our characteristic, but my regiment, how do I prove? Say, yeah, sa pay, sa a year, a jumeray, sa organization way, or discriminating against me? We are live on the community and the law, live on BWTV, live on BW Radio, live on BWF Solicitors Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn, all the social media platforms. Mekai was extra enumerate 7 p.m. On the BW Radio. The audio version of this program will be rebroadcast in Tishano Sosa. Or if you missed the live one, you can go back to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and pick it up and watch along with us anytime. So, what question or concern there, you still can send it. May Kai was say joining via voice and now phone caller 07399 208-468, or you can send your text or WhatsApp or voice note to 07950422780. How do I successfully prove that I am being discriminated against at work? Like, how do I do that?
Yeah, so before I ever call the point of proving where, you know, obi baby say then actually said I call you discriminatory. Because sometimes you may be because you humpo say it is hard. So I'm going to go through some examples.
Okay.
Now, say you were direct, you were indirect, you were victimization, and you were harassment. And the young friend would be to say, someone saying hurtful things or attacking you repeatedly. And to say attack you repeatedly or hurtful things are being said repeatedly about you or against you in the workplace. Could that be discriminatory in nature? Yes, because that can come under potentially harassment.
Okay.
Because we have mentioned, say, 4. You were direct, indirect, victimization, and harassment. Another one is being made fun of. It could be, say, color. It could be, say, disability be a war. It could be of something. Na obi no bia nipa no ntumi control no ho nti o make fun of that can also it makes the person uncomfortable.
Okay.
That's harassment. A bit is say being excluded or left out. Excluded from what and left out of what? Bia training obi anya no wo de yama obi. And I say, be training no, your mouth, I'll call a broche no more training, would ye de biano with the local one year the mouth. And now so say, Bia, your certain benefits be a cost wage mumuho, would ye your mouth be. But who's some conform so aiding, enya. And you may be promotion be a only number, would ye win ye be. They be any more excuse, come on. These are. So you can say Nimpano or go through discrimination because the person is being left out of the benefit or the opportunities available in the workplace. Ebi it is say ebi culture say being made to do hurtful or inappropriate things, even though the way and yet regular in the workplace, sometimes it happens. Into being asked to do hurtful and inappropriate things, can also come into the domain of discrimination. Because the person can say he or she is being harassed because you are doing things against your will. And in your man in kitinkiti bitisano ekoso and threatening behaviors, and also will fall under the discrimination and sometimes you see people ganging up against one person in a workplace. It's what they say. But the point is say, we call large firms in organizations now. You have a broad range of race. We can see say, crofobia. You can see say, we do hope no majai. It makes you feel uncomfortable. What will be going on? Until you do you don't get to participate in that and come on. And the BBC it is signing now. No to me. I pick no. I can say, hang on. Is it because of something I did?
Could it also be, sir? For instance, people that come from the same area and they speak a similar language. Now, more office, maybe find some more an office that's have 6 people. 4 of them come more or less from the same area, or they speak the same language, or probably they even support the same team. And you always find them grouping and having their conversation, their discussion, not to the exclusion of one name and I say who identify with them as a group. Can that person complain, say he's being discriminated against?
I mean, say association being a what they are saying, they also park or join it, sir, and they won't pay more crowd, which might continue be the way to develop your interest in football. But you mentioned one thing, say language. Imagine say be organization you were different people. Now different people no the common language yes to say use no potentially will be English. Now more often than not, we don't use the English but we use our other language of the minority and it be a minority na a majority. Then in Panua until to say most of our viewers feel that they are being discriminated against simply because those minority group they don't understand the majority language. And the majority language usually use ideas all the time. So they feel left out.
Right.
I do when you see a workplace, some people feel left out, can say, why don't we use a language and you know able to me at here. So nipa no ntumi nkopu na ojai ejuma because of that. The person can pick up say, "Well, this is the person can feel say a harassment in a way because harassment doesn't always have to be physical assault or battery, but the person can feel say no, I don't feel comfortable because of me do hope na language na sesa. Me won hope na that aspect as a language and I don't see or hear what is going on. But then how do you until sa idea no be our course and workplace be sa course some minority individual and as a group no can say the language should be so the policy should be such that when we are at the workplace the language should be formal. Just for the benefit of or more as a minority.
They feel left out.
Exactly. Or when let's say we are attending a meeting or a training, the language should be this language. Then it is set out so that the individual but you call a break. Then you come more something else there. And you can't say I didn't know about break and I'm on cancasa metibi. I mean, it's also and a different matter. Right. But we are looking at the workplace formal conversation, and that's a language I use generally.
Okay. So then let's come to the question: how do I prove that I'm being discriminated against?
So, as I said, you have to identify which of the characteristics, and I will feel say you are because a war hununti and na air koso.
Okay.
Is it because it be a color? And now it be because of the way I Okasa accent. And now say be why? So you have to identify that. And whether that characteristic is protected.
Okay.
So you have to identify that. You also have to check what we call comparator. Comparator is it for everybody or for me alone? Is this happening to everybody? Okay. So it's not just a matter of saying, this has happened, so this is it. Is it happening to everybody? If it's happening to everybody, then you are not being singled out.
Okay.
But say, and yet idea it happened to everybody there, then you ask yourself, why is it happening to me alone? Or to us alone? So comparator is very important. What do you have to compare against or to compare to? That will give you indication that something is wrong somewhere. So if you can't identify that comparator, no way who say you are denied opportunity or you are going through something and others are not going through there, then it's difficult to prove your case. Then we move on to where we and no. Then you look at what is happening in terms of the way our organization what does the policy say? Let's give a classic example.
Yeah.
Say, obi BBAC na, when something happens, there is a policy direction. The policy, it might be say disciplinary policy. The employer number find a disciplinary policy, so now they are there. Imagine say, BBC, the policy is not what followed. Now, edu me so no, and I say yes, I do so because you were waiting to do the same thing. But for whatever reason, we should follow policy no.
Okay.
Then there's something wrong. Then you ask yourself, is it because of one of the characteristics now I associate with, or is it because they were actually waiting to act? And we buy, then they have picked the form or the policy to say, this is it. There is one instance I see long ago. Now it was on capability. And he was teaching. It was a teaching, you have to go through observation. Upstairs observation, but as part of our capability assessment. So you go through observation. So now you year observation every term, 3 times in a year. Now, maybe or go to my colleague or go through an observation. One time no grade 3. Grade 3 no so when grade 3 when you say first not and satisfactory, but since inadequate. So you have to get 2 or 1. No, you are 3. When you are 3 treating informal, it's not normal. What they needed to do, they didn't do it. And another almost an observation be when you are 3. And I feel almost sure say when you are 3 and we are going to invoke the capability policy because you can't perform the job. They miss the fact the policy says once you identify at first instance, you have to identify interventions, including training and support. Into your man pick it up. Then nimpa na ekodu point say realizing almost no. If we do anything by going by the policy to dismiss her, we will not succeed. Okay. Because we haven't done what we needed to have done by our own policy. Okay. All right. In the sign panel it's one of say but let's say for example say signing power we are yan dismissal. The second person is dismissal. Third person is dismissal on the grounds of capability. Now obedient dismissal. Let's say Nimpano is happen to be maybe falling within one of the protected characteristics there. In the Nimpano say hang on, I don't know. The same thing AC Nimpa we so onyabia grade 3 4 times and eventually or come up no be grade 2 or 1. One year bibia by me dear mo yesi. Excuse me. And I just a weather number. And with this one, Nipambaka said, you did not follow the policy when it happened to somebody. But you are now following the policy to deal with me on that same issue.
In that case, then you're discriminating.
In that case, at what point in time did you realize it is time to use the policy?
Okay. So in that case, Nipa no episode prove or obenya will be precedent.
Exactly. Comparator. Exactly. Okay. So what has the precedent is very important. What happens in the workplace? What we call the convention or the practice. What is the practice? So if the practice is this and it's not being followed and it's being done differently against somebody there, Nipa said no. Then there is a point of discrimination.
If the policy says Nipano be a year assessment, grade 3 be a year insufficient, and inti yebetimi unya be a grade 3 me ansa yebetimi ama call through certain procedures to improve upon yourself. If you're not able to improve upon yourself, yebetimi a UWD. That is what the policy is. Whoever is the manager, be a 3 grade 3s. When follow some procedure, but a chair will do what you so. You who said every say number and city until we have to apply the law. Does it mean, say, ubetimi any for that can say, won't mean punish me because one punish will be before?
That's the point I'm making. Is that at what point in time did we realize that son and ran it here? Because unless I'm run, I think you introduce you. But say what that then why has it not been followed? Now all of a sudden, you be follow. To my detriment.
Can you go on to say you can't punish me because one follow Emrano in a previous situation?
Then so it's who employer will struggle to defend that claim.
Okay.
Say that is how it is done. If that is how it is done, let's say nimpa way it me approve say that is not how it is done all the time. Because those before me now minimum way now no then why are you doing it to me? Then it will be weak for the employer to be able to defend that claim.
Let me go one step beyond. Say the proof about say I'm being discriminated against but then I cannot substantiate it. And no actually no me who bet me actually me.
And no actually no say koba say nea wokoye ninti ye tan weni na wokoye ninti na ese say ye de man rokwa ye fa ma obiem na wokoka ye na wopre wo ye ninti bibi a ese senka eba wo nchen bia no ye de ko baby foforo a ye hwe weni bi na ye obibi a then that will be victimization. That is also discrimination. So you can bring another action because it's at any point in time the action is the time of that incident. And to say, see now, you have 3 months. If, for example, for you to go to tribunal, but you have to go through the processes because we want to make sure that your claim is successful. So you cannot bring any flimsy claim. I want to mean something and substantiate it because any kind of you raise a point with your employer informally. So why this, why that? You move on to the standard point. Concern I will be raised, IFN grievance, So there will be a grievance procedure or policy I will be follow. So then you go to tribunal. That's the proper thing to happen. Yes, I was sorry, now we'll call tribunal. But the point I will question will be say because I will challenge you be a be or Jumani and also your discrimination. Yes. In the first about Kunansa, you know, before I start, and let's say, wouldn't me and bring it another action.
Okay. Covenant Grace, thank you very much for joining us. Esibotre Adam Tuga, Emmanuel Nemako, and Edudwa Munya. So thank you so very much. Now I'm going to allow you to ask questions as well. Now, wait to me after 07399208468 07399208468 and answer over texting in 07950422780. Before you come in, or before I pick any of the comments from our comment section on both YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn or the other platforms, the person may be and say, me prove successfully, say I'm being discriminated against at work. What do I get?
Thank you very much. So all you are seeking is redress. And the advice that I had to say, you start with the employer. That's the starting point. Informally, you raise the concern with your line manager. It might be, say, in your idea, then they will understand the concern I want to address it. So it becomes a Q&A activity at this stage, informally.
Okay.
Say a cost still a cost, then you raise it formally as a grievance. Then you follow the procedure where you have to send the grievance to. And also then you go to court, IFN Employment Tribunal.
Okay.
Now, even that, you can ask ACAS to intervene for you on your behalf. ACAS is the independent body. They will come in and look at what is happening and make sure the right things are done. Now, when you know a court tribunal, you are asking the tribunal to make an order first. Because if the tribunal is not able to make an order is the confirmation, say there is discrimination in the workplace against you. because your protected characteristic has been infringed upon, so to speak, be it directly, indirectly, or by victimization or by harassment. Then, ordinarily, the court will then have to, of course, they have to make a determination, make the order. Now, obisa almost a then a wankasans nangaza no upe. If you want the employer to be aware so that it doesn't happen again. And anti sasane etie dia ebi kura na bia promotion bi anka ese de ma wo na yamfa ma wo. Nti se wo ko na you prove right, then it has to be reinstated. So it might be say afi the bed ya de be ma wo.
Would I be right in asking for any financial compensation?
Compensation is also there, depending on the extent of effect on you. So now your boss, you know, you can direct, indirect, you can victimization and then harassment. Most of the time, say a case of harassment, you may be able to get compensation because then it goes into element of assault.
Okay.
But say victimization, say be a necessary the man young farmer, unless say because the young farmer will lose economically or financially there, that we can look at what else you have lost. By the fact say young farmer and necessary the court make that determination say the man bet me or that employer and say omunye what is right for you. And the point you make, I think, for this comedy no money na say you say discrimination is a legal act. And at the same time, you know, say employer no enhu ne so ye na of 40 employee no onim what ought to be done about by the employer no, but to me I picking up and say no, what you've done is against the law.
Okay, my main questions concerns so the obey me afraid 0739920848 and I'll say we send the text 0795042270. I've this text here or say as a British citizen is house contract part of the application requirement to bring your wife? HSC contract, that's what he says. I don't know what that means. HSC, or say HSC contract, that's what I said.
Well, I don't know what HSC. HSC could stand for anything, but let me say tenancy agreement and I say whatever it is, but to bring your wife to the UK and I say partner to the UK, the law is clear under Appendix FM. You have to prove it say uye juma wo ahoden sika famu a obetumi da hwe honhone weyere ne nkwala omwo mu a omunya British nkwala. And so prove it say omo ba omo may burden on the state in terms of accommodation. Into baby a wotino eso enough for yourself and ne weyere. So when weyere there you only share one bed. So that's fine, it doesn't matter. But some nkwala wo mu dia and omo age no e ho na ye be hwe say and yes say we dey we making sure say accommodation a bigger than. And if we meet all the requirements dear, then this has nothing to do with discrimination. This is pure immigration rule requirement. Meaning what HSC stands for.
Another you say a tenancy agreement.
Yeah, I think you are also. You need to have tenancy agreement because when you baby da, we don't know if will be say only ne better.
Okay. Until just say here say
beg
you tenancy agreement to come approve
say oh baby and not just say oh baby name baby overcrowded because that would be against the Housing Act 1985 bit cultural say overcrowding very serious and he say ukofo obi aba na be create the place be overcrowded na be create health and safety hazard any issues there. And the overcrowded say when you're ready. Into tenancy should be able to take that box.
Okay. Well, another text to her or say or yeah be court retirement. na opeso ma notice but or annual leave no mo oma notice no whilst he's on annual leave and as on train annual leave no inwi answer would the annual leave be counted as part of the notice period?
Right, so nipa so obekwa retirement usually obekwa retirement mpo dia I mean ebro so a because a standard unya sa age no a that is your sada no after sada no untimi nye adwuma because wapim enti so wapim dia prior to that no omone obey den employer no ya is aware say ubekọ retirement anyway nti nkomodie no ade no bekọ so for pension purposes ne ade. And I'm not sure say you have to go and tell your employer say me retirement no be so of course nkomodie no ekọ so they know and we also know.
Okay, we're back. We temporarily lost our sound there, but fortunately we're back. And now
annual leave,
annual leave, or co-retirement,
yes,
and or annual leave. So the notice period, can he count the leave towards the end of the thing?
Because now the leave no a woman ya no ane dia. Nti emfa say leave no beso no kra no na ne time no aso so okwa na retirement no. Employers can even agree that okay, the remaining leave period no will be converted into pay for you to be added to the last pay no. Imagine say bia we are accumulating the leave because it's allowed now or will be at 3 months womb. So 3 months no so ebe ni nyina no ebe so no na wa call retirement dada. Obewo extra 1 month on use here. The employer by compromise can agree say all right, na aka no you are on leave. Ubeko retirement ebe so that way. You need say you are not coming after this time. So you are not even coming, you are not even reporting before you start your retirement. Inti bruna aka no the debate ya o.
Okay. 0739920848 and also say over send the text 0795042278. When say when ya ejuma and the I think it's about the care worker route here. When your employment now the form or the organization has paid for the visa application and your friend or some manage the visa no. Or fill a form or can say or a map. Okay, I said I have children. Ne man no obetimi ni omo aba straight away and now say omra no me settle and sana wakwakofa ne manaba.
A choice. Okay. And because a choice, you look at what is best for you. Maybe I knew what I just said for one breast is here. Then maybe I know what I just said and for one bus is here. When I will make a decision,
family, you can go in and settle.
Well, not because the way declare no. Obviously, it's our family application form no requires that because the baby solves those questions. But the point that I make is a family. Can you bring your family? You can come with them at the same time at Woba, or they can join you later. Okay. I think it's a matter of common sense approach. Obi beka say winning bibi yama ba kunko na onko settle na nya yaka no yen join no because yen nyina ye kwa accommodation ni ade no employer no will not consider your family and give you bigger accommodation. If you remember one room to sort yourself out, it is only your family nearby. The other one, no, and your employer an issue. So this is a common sense approach. Nipa no be take is okay, and the me call. Na mark settle, maybe a few months no, or my day, I be join me. And it's entirely nipa no ne discretion.
Wouldn't the person be facing any difficulty? Because what can say maybe the expectation is to travel with them from the beginning. Now, what then you want to avoid paying extra application fee and the rest of it. The Ankawi in the beginning, you might have included some discounts here and there. Such challenge, would the person face it?
Well, at the end of the day, no. The case worker does not expect to say what new family in Abeko. Application a skilled worker no application.
Okay.
Worker no our sponsor skilled worker no or sponsor one person. But because of family life, that's why the families will join, and the law allows our family to join. Ubi Abeka say, okay, say you apply at the same time or be cheaper. Fine, you do your cost benefit analysis and say if I do it now, it's cheaper than doing it later, so I will do it now. Or if I do it later, it will be cheaper for me, so let me do it later. No law will say the 1 year on they didn't apply with you, so they won't get it. No, there's nothing like that. Okay. Until you work entirely what is best for you under your specific circumstance.
Okay. Lawyer, I'm not picking your text because you've added your name. I want to hide it. Or say about UK on an entertainment visa to come and perform. Now, because I was allowed to work at that time because I received money, can I say that I have a work permit and I can seek employment differently from what I came to do?
And the entertainment visa no is still valid?
Well, I want to assume so.
Yeah, so usually those people are mobile for such activities, they are visiting the UK to perform a certain activity and go back. They are not coming as sponsored employees.
Okay.
It is a be entertainment, mobile 1 week. We are visa no will be for a period,
I'm thinking, say, the validity, for instance, for that period, and be by the weekend of October, what for me every. But your visa is still valid for the next 6 months or maybe.
So your visa is still valid. Now, be when your employer be. Not. So the employer will look at all the options to see whether your circumstance will allow that employer to give you sponsorship. Sponsorship is not just for care. Obia yabafane ejuma ewo UK memu bia no a oye foreigner no, the employer will have to sponsor them for work permit purposes.
Okay.
And the sanimpa we bia employer no beka say all right, your visa allows you to do XYZ job. So job no the buy no entertainment job no, and there will be a condition in the visa. Say some of them are more classified as visit. Because you are visiting to perform a certain activity.
Okay.
Now we are you're visiting lecturers, visiting religious ministers. They come preach and go. Yes, they are coming to work for that particular person now. Could even be a voluntary or charity work. Into where we are, the expect is over there. In this whole convert here, it is up to the employer to see, say, is this something that I can switch? Because the employer also have to do due diligence.
Okay.
And if the employer check, if you say, okay, that's fine, we can convert you there, or may convert, But some of you say they can't convert here, ordinarily, they may give the employment, no one could fee, no one could visa, no the other.
Okay. 07399208468 07950422780 and no a year for text. those of you on the platform, somebody is just being naughty on there, so ignore all that. Na yemfa and komono and twaso. Iwo inia bako ewo line so a text message. Sorry, we a say can I be sued for depriving my child's father from visiting?
Right. So we are going to family.
Can I be sued?
Well, be a papa no bet me the na court.
Oh, okay.
Unless a papa no busu afford in abide to me anyway. But point in say na nimpe e kan say on pese akwala ne papa ebeben no. Ebeben akwala no. Ebi so ana papa yi ohia akwala won abrabom for obvious reasons. Machum. What's one person over Ben? No, ban no.
Never know. Yeah.
But what papa is want me for so on them.
Okay.
Into the best is agreement now in year between the two of you, dear. Or do be court. And yes, sir, oh, see you per se. See is a big word. It's a strong word.
That's what I was wondering. If
and
is the appropriate word, yeah.
So, yes, Yatina Samrasi. So you are right. Obey to me the work of court. It's a court emblem.
Okay.
Na unya kwai
you're probably going to seek for an order.
Yes, so yeah, the conversation last week, you have was it Friday? Yeah, I think there was a question on that. So child arrangement order. So the person will go for child arrangement order. Say, I want an order from the court to give me access to my child. Akwala will not be living with me, what we call lives with order, but I want to have spend time with. Nti obenya omre a wodi be hu akwalai ubekọ fie ho akwasra no akwalai so baba besra obi and your family thing, so you make an application to court, section 8 application to court. Nti so yenwe no na obi sadia you better say yes by not suing as in suing per se, but the person is just telling the court to say or no entry agree on how I mobile akwala no santi court embremu now we'll make a decision, Emamo.
Okay. 0739920848, 0795042278. Very interesting questions coming up. Lawyer, why did you name the organization? Okay. Let me see if I can take the organization out. Any organization be a year Juma, who said there were acts of discrimination, and until or reported my two superiors, and they did not treat the matter fairly, and I felt bad, so I am asking that lawyers represent me so I can get monetary compensation. How do I go about it?
Right. The topic is how do I successfully prove it? We use some words, acts of discrimination. What was it?
Okay.
How do you know, sir, where your discrimination? Then party and how did you conclude? Into a formulated activity you go through to determine say it is possible. Say it's either direct, indirect, victimization or harassment has taken place. So we want to know what happened and who did what. Then we move on to say not fairly treated. What is not fairly treated? What does the policy say? What did the organization do differently?
Okay.
Is that what you mean by not fairly treated? If that is the case, we want to know what the policies say about that issue and what did the organization do about it. And after that, how did the organization react towards you after that incident? So we want to know all this. And we also want to see whether this has happened before by somebody in the organization.
Okay.
And how it was treated, which makes yours different. Once you put all this together, then you are arriving at a conclusion that, say, potentially could be one of those 4 forms of discrimination. Then you make an application to court, provided conversation has not worked, provided formal grievance has not worked, and you want to go to court, then you, however, have to make an application within 3 months from the date of the incident.
Oh, okay.
So you want to know how long ago, because this is strict time bound when it comes to employment tribunal matters. Unless it's gone to ACAS, and ACAS is investigating, then we have what we call stop the clock. So within time now, ACAS, the 3 months will not count. So move here, then it will continue.
Okay.
Then, so we want to know all this before you can say whether you can go to court or not.
It brings to mind some question. Maybe I'll follow up on it and ask, sir. There's redundancy, as you explained, or your nuggets no more. But then the person feels that I'm being made redundant, even though there may be legitimate reasons why the organization has to restructure, there's this, that, and the rest of it. But I feel that I wasn't the only person to have been made redundant. Other people, or another person who probably is less efficient than myself. No, maybe the person has been kept in the organization instead of me. And also, can I try and put that in the framework of discrimination?
You cannot conclude unless it's obvious that there is. Because redundancy is a different conversation. We have to check whether the employer ticked all the boxes and why is it that some people were left behind. There is voluntary redundancy and involuntary redundancy.
Okay.
It's a say yema nkrofo bi mu kofia because of senior insistan yakoba we adwuma ni mu na COVID ni Ukraine ni nyoma bi nti nyoma no kwa yento. We cannot operate at a loss. So the common sense potentially may be that we close down.
Okay.
We are going to close down, but the way adwuma no ketua bi hye to kromu ho aye betumi arani. But the aye no ho no enye posh to say ne aye no wa ha no. So we make a choice. Say, do I want to go or I want to stay for reconsideration? So like I said, the employer has to make alternative arrangement. So alternative arrangement in what? You go through the process, consultation process. Into Omega say, wow, per se, say na akoba, wow, per se, ukofie no, ma wonsaso, na yem pay you off. Yen fancy yenue, wa man nsaso. That means opeso stay. Then employer has to select. Be a we have 5. Person nipa mienu na stay on because edwuma ni so. Ni be say okay, mu 5 no mu nyina mu person mu stay no. Edwuma na e ho na ehye tokuru mu ho no. E bi a e manpower edwuma. Mu pe ana. Yan fa so mu nyina say yes. Then they have to start the process of interviewing them, recruitment and selection, as if they are new candidates. Because they have to be fair. So let me give you an example. Again, back in the days when I was teaching, there was this college. It became obvious redundancy within the business department. Maybe I'm not tried, you know. Now we were about 4 teachers, no 5. But now I say only here 3 pet. Tinese me nu kofie. Why na we na kofie? Into omu je atu no me say wa pesa wo kɔ no ma wonsa so. Ba ko pɛ na ɔka so ɔbɛkɔ. Nti na nya ya aka ne de ya pɛ adwuma no. Ba adwuma no so hours na aka no esua. Ye ka bomu a ye nya full time. Omu so ntumi omu pɛ sɛ ɔmbɛyɛ obia part time. Santi we had to go through the process again. Nti omu make the job vacant officially. No more advertising here internally for us to apply. So we applied, we were interviewed, we had to do micro teaching and went through the process, and 3 of us were successful. And the rest, they told them, say, the interview is over, you are officially unsuccessful. This time, no, independent year redundant. We go through interview and a 1 year then, 1 year successful. So the question is, okay, I'm not successful, I'm going. So you pay me off per redundancy compensation policy. And it's an impact way, I don't know where he or she fits. ɔsi bi mu aka hɔ a ɔmo yɛ adwuma me deɛ ɔmo ma me kɔɔyɛ. Is it because he or she accepted voluntarily to go, or say ɔmo go through interview no ɔno anyɛ successful? And how do you prove that one is successful at the interview because of any of the characteristics now, but not your competence at the time of assessment? So there are a lot of things to be made available, information that we have to assess, then we can conclude that there is element of discrimination or not. Because if at the point of interview, something went wrong based on any of the protected characteristics there, then we can say, be a nurse, I point on you. I'm say, oh, ukra wa kwanyem dia. Send there, kwajibi, redundancy ni bi na ko. Because you to me in train, now we stay, now we imagine maternity, now we say my back. Then that one, pregnancy.
Well, it's a very interesting area of discussion. Lawyer Charles Asma has done so much justice to the topic. Maybe is all questions or concerns, no big brave, but. Let them have it. Let us have it. BWF Solicitors are ready. Say obetie wa 7 afe we yano ade ama, and they will signpost you to the right places and to the right answers when it is that you have an issue. Yabana fe and then we can see a employment quiz and komo bebre. We'll be right back and we'll be looking at our quiz for today. The question is very interesting, and I believe with the discussion and the nuggets you will find it quite easy and very, very straightforward to answer. But then, let's be right back. We pay tribute and, of course, say thank you to BWF Solicitors, Night Abaya Quaison. And stay there, we'll be right back.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws, there are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
Well. BWF Solicitors. Inti Uma Yanuon Inni and Common. Free one was 0208 493 7340. 0208 7340. BWF Solicitors are trusted legal partners when it comes to the law. Abano say, you call with all the confidence because all the kofa baby na anya masa wasobe pa. For 30 years, the senior partner has been serving the community on broken service. And when him say even 1 year be out this year he would have learned 30 different things all over. But wabing we year pa inti fa about BWF Solicitors. More fe yen call yen quiz on the balance and no crano. Maming fa a year yen nugget no embre ubu na minkin kind senior lawyer for no eddy a brain. Was a redundancy is usually a type of dismissal when a role is no longer needed. The employer should only consider making redundancies if part or all of the organization is closing or has already closed, is changing, and the types or the numbers rules needed are changing, especially to do certain types of work, and the organization probably is also changing location. The employer may look at alternatives to redundancy. However, before an employer selects anyone for redundancy by law, they must follow a consultation and selection process. You will normally be entitled to statutory redundancy pay if you have worked for your employer for more than 2 years, or 2 years or more, as the law says. Okay, Eliana Abusia, na minkofa me question no emfa emra. Are you ready? Bam param. Like, question now. Kwaku Bako, an employee of Afrikiko Cinema, and 50 other employees were placed on furlough in March 2020, COVID time, for what they expected to be a temporary closure due to the national COVID-19 restrictions. The company announced later via its social media that it was closing permanently, and the staff were all laid off without notice consultation, without notice period or consultation. Brought an action at the Employment Tribunal, that is ET. What is likely to be the outcome of the case? The claim will fail because the nation was under COVID-19 restrictions. 2, the claim will succeed because the government should have intervened. And NAFI was saying the claim will succeed because the employer should have consulted the employees affected. Kwakubako, Afrikiko Cinema na oye juma wo no mo ye juma wo ni na ye 50 plus Kwakubako na 51. And Mukai say COVID ba ye no mo ye so adwuma ni bebre ntimi entua o monti o the fellow scheme be by program yi so ye chichire mu a bebre. I pray and on Facebook, Twitter, now say YouTube pages so I'm going to also say Afrikiko Cinema yaguno and your review. And tea, we are weird more will be a patcho, will be anywhere if I find a review because it's one ago. Wakuba Kusari and Etiquapai, not the core employment tribunal. What will be the likely outcome of the case? Claim or the coin? The claim will fail because sometimes no beer, the whole of the country were under COVID restrictions. There was nothing they could do. Claim no will succeed because the government should have intervened. That was buying a bemu, and until he said, or the court tribunal, you will pay be a day, a Marco Kuba, Kwana said, Rebecca said, a Paso. Now, 3, the claim will succeed because the employer should have consulted the employees affected. So, I 51, I was saying, or ball more amania said, I didn't know, Yaba Ababi Yimu Eti, Mama Yanquay. Eti, on our side there, is it 1, is it 2, is it 3? Put your answers in the comment section and also by sending the text at the Abremi. Our 07950422780 07950422780 and also the better comment section also at the I think most of the comments that have come I am not able to put them on there, but yeah, I can find it on my small screen here and the tuswa may now pay a day ama for a day ama Willie Achampon Akolo, you're watching. Thank you very much for watching. So and I were Emmanuel Nimako, Adam Tuga, SC Boche, Covenant Grace, Akosia Apia, and all the rest. More motion with me a day will comment no Abba. Well, this time around, let me go to lawyer straight away. Lawyer. Yenhwe question mode emma yen boswe na yenhwe say answer na be
yo senior yeah wo boss no employer no a redundancy activity because of near SCO adwuma no ho no anti near SSL oye ne say obama mo aya we say na eden ekoso especially no number no a involved no is very important so. And Obama we are obey consultation. The consultation be meetings on different occasions. Na before ombe conclude adie no. Nti se one yes adie no consultation meetings no Now, because I dare no be any say redundancy aba. Even though under Section 98 of Employment Rights Act, a fair reason, say we make it redundant, the procedure is wrong.
Okay.
And therefore, it hasn't been fair in all the circumstances under case law.
Okay.
And it would be unfair to just dismiss them without going through the process. And say the court were winning because the employer did not follow the process by way of consultation.
Lawyer, in our answers now, the claim will succeed because government should have intervened. And no. That was a government.
I say government should have intervened. I mean, I say Shemupa and Kasa COVID or something like that. And I think this is Africa cinema is in the UK as well. That's why Shemudi and government intervene here. So Shemua and government intervene here. So when it's just there to lose you out, literally. And sometimes it's be Oma, it be Shemua. Now it throw you out of control. But it has nothing to do with the government. It's more to do with the law and what the employer ought to do before they effect the redundancy.
Okay. Indeed, Senior Lawyer H. Mono, the answer to our question is number 3. The claim will succeed because the employer should have consulted the employee and the employees affected. We share yen nugget no cry senior or see a day ma yen usually no I was say consulting a coso and sana wetimi aye sa redundancy na wetimi aye. Ti lawyer we ma atim for gina adawase say waboso a day amai. Now just before we go, we obviously will be doing English summary. Those of you who have difficulty understanding the language, today we've tried as much as possible because it was a bit of a technical something and involves everybody, not necessarily an immigration thing. So we have used a lot more English than the local Chi language or the local Ghanaian language. But if you missed anything, or even if you found it a bit long and you want to just get a gist and a summary of that, within the week, there will be an English summary between 5 and 8 minutes that will help you have a good grasp treated today. So don't lose out. You can watch it back again on our YouTube page and our Facebook page, or you can catch up with the summary where that lawyer will be doing later on after this program. So lawyer, you hear then ode ebe trato ade am say sorry. Yo
etief na dofo ahwefo yada masse bebre and so ya bibi a ohia papa wo edwumam tituru ya share employment another edwuma na ye wo bibi a ya friend discrimination another where you may sin chain. Now, so where you is in China, another word discriminate